Okay, fabulous. I hope the lunch was good. I enjoyed it. Thank you so much for being back and not going to your room and falling asleep for your afternoon nap. I was very tempted to do that with my little boy when he went back to sleep. Now I was like, man, I just want to cuddle up next to you and not come back here. But Mandy wouldn't have anything of that, so there we go. So we're going to break up into group sessions now to have our breakaway sessions and discuss some topics. And you will all see, all of you have a little card like this. And at the back or the front of it, depends which side you're looking at from, you're going to have a little sticker on there with a color label on. Orange or blue or yellow. And that determines which group you're in. Okay? So the 6 groups that we have, I think I see, James, that you're in the blue group. And you're sitting here. So let's have the blue group gather around where you are sitting at. Okay? And then we've got a yellow group. Let's do the yellow group there in the back left corner. The orange group can be in the back right there. Then we can do the green group can be at the front here. There's a pink group that can sit over here as well. And then we've got a white group that can sit there in the center. If that makes sense to everybody, you can break into those groups now. You've got 45 minutes, and I'll be coming around having a wee chat. And we'll get back here in 45 minutes to present. Okay, thank you very much. If there's any suppliers that are not involved, you're welcome to take a break, and please be back by 3 o'clock. Thank you.
Zanzibar, we brought it back onto our portfolio. It's doing very well as a destination, so there's quite a big traffic load going to Zanzibar. Good old South Africa, local is lekker. It's a fantastic country. I came back from overseas to enjoy the country. It's beautiful. Good value for money. Durban is very popular over the July sort of winter season. Not really winter, but great. Garden route and Namibia as well. Namibia is very, very enticing for self-drive destinations. And then Reunion combined with Mauritius now is also, there's a lot of inquiry for that. Nice car hire, 3-4 days, and then you can go and lounge on the beach in Mauritius with the local rum, of course. And I think, what else? Yes, Cape Town, of course, as I mentioned before, and the Kruger National Park. Lots of inquiries for festivals in and around major city points. That's becoming quite an area of intrigue for people. And that's it in a nutshell. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Derek. Okie dokie. The orange group win was done by Hazel. Would you mind stepping up, please? Thank you. Good hand for Hazel, please. Thank you. So she's busy traveling around the globe to going to functions like this. She's now off to Australia, you said, from here for the same event, huh?
So you guys, for those who don't know enough about WIN, and I think the outcome of our little group is that very few people here actually do know what WIN have to offer. A lot of people seem to think that we've just got the hotel program. So really, I think that gives me the big challenge, which is how do I get the information out to you guys? We have you guys are a 25% shareholder in WIN. We have the similar kind of organisations in Australia, in Germany and in the UK. So yes, I'm going from here on to Australia because they have their conference next weekend, and I'm going to try and disseminate what they need as well and bring it all together, and then hopefully beyond this conference we can then bring back the information to you. But I think the key takeaways that I got from the group was there is a huge lack of knowledge. There is a huge leisure focus within this environment, and that's not really where WIN has focused on. So perhaps that's something we need to look at, is how we take it beyond the corporate community and how we provide you with either tools or rates or assistance, but more from a leisure community. And really in the leisure market, the programs that you guys were interested was our DMC network and how we can then put you in touch with people around the world who can help your customers. And those DMCs can also help with the MICE market, so the meetings market. So really from our perspective is, if they're the bits that drive your business, then let us help you with that. For those who are in the corporate community, then how can we help you get the knowledge about WIN out to the right people in your organization? So me telling a consultant about the international network will probably fall on deaf ears. However, telling your sales and account managers and your people who really go out and speak to the travel managers are those that we need to actually educate and tell them more about what we do. So the challenge for us is getting the information out concisely and to the right people, and via what channel. So does that come via your extranet? Does it come on face-to-face? Is it through webinars? We want to know from you guys what you want from us, because we can go and create all these programs for you and then they're not used because they're not the right programs. So again, it's finding out and getting the reverse. Instead of us saying, here, this is what we've got, it's saying, what do you need from us? And, you know, it won't just be you guys, I can tell you, it'll be beyond that. We talked a lot about hotel programs and the needs. One element that came out is that people don't know how to claim commission, or when they are claiming commission, they're losing it on exchange rates. So we're going to explore some opportunities through that. So again, I think it's finding the right people to communicate with, getting the message out to you, and making you feel a little bit more confident about what we have to offer that you can then take to your customers and build your business up.
Thank you. And before you give her a hand, but that was great, thank you. Just one question from my side, if you don't mind, which I shared in your group. And just listening to what you guys were sharing, what just came up for me was that how can members tap into the international market through you? If you remember, I asked you that question in your group. And for me, that's just something that really popped up, especially because all of you are looking to grow your business. So how, using WIN, can you actually help grow your business? So how do they tap into that?
Okay, so again, there's two sides to this. So if you're a corporate TMC and you have customers who have offices outside of South Africa, then you should be talking to them. You should be asking them what they need from you beyond South Africa. Because if you're not doing that, I can tell you that probably another international network or another multiple is probably asking them. If you are a leisure agent, then again, it's using the part of the programs that are more leisure focused. So that's our DMC program. So again, it's thinking about what your business is and what part of our business you would need. You might not need the array of programs that we can offer you. So it's utilizing what is right for your business.
Awesome.
Yeah?
Yeah, perfect. Thank you so much. Great hand, people. Thank you. Okay, so now we got to an interesting part with, I think, let's talk with Travelport first. So, Sean, where are you? There we go. Fabulous. So, you guys had an interesting discussion just when I got onto the end about all the apps and that can do so many, or looking to get into apps that can do so many different things. And you can share with us about that just now. And when I listened to it, it just reminded me of, I was speaking at a conference just the other day from the JD Group. Now what they do, they're the biggest retail software developer in the world. Okay, and they shared with us at that conference, they have now developed software that, for instance, they work with Waitrose and Sainsbury's and the like. That if you walk into Waitrose and you start shopping there, with all the information they collate from you, they can now know that your habit is on Wednesdays to make this dinner, and you go and buy that dinner on that day at that time. So they start shopping and making sure they've got those groceries in that shop for you when you walk in there. It's unbelievable. They know that you've got a cat or a dog and the amount of food you buy for them and where you buy it. So when you walk into that store, they've got that for you. So they can move all the stock where they need to, and they've got all that information. It is just unbelievable to see where they're going to with it. And it'd be interesting to see what you're going to share with us, because what you shared just made me remember that. So if you can maybe just touch a wee bit on the online stuff and the applications that you spoke about.
Great. Thanks a lot. Yeah, we had quite a a busy discussion on the technology, and so much so that we only got down to point number 5 out of 10. So there was a lot of stuff that was still open to discussion. But from what we had gone through, at the end of the day, the important thing is that you're asking your customers the right questions, that you're making sure that you're getting the right information from them and that you know them well. And I mean, most of you sitting around here that you use Travelport are using client files and bars and pars and that sort of thing. And you've got that information on your customers. But it's needing to go down to the levels of finding out that you've got a customer that loves pets, for example. They love traveling with their pets. On the app side, there's Bring Fido, which is an app out there that identifies pet-friendly facilities. So in that way, if you know that the customer is interested in that, you're honing in on these specifics. It's becoming a personalized type of interaction that you're having with your customer. Happy Cow was another one for vegetarians. Keeping all those cows happy because you're not eating them. So you know your customer's a vegetarian because you're booking that veg meal for them every time they fly. Honing in once again on the personalization of that customer. So yeah, there are so many of them out there. It's just taking it and doing that bit of extra work for your customer and seeing what would fit with them, and becoming sort of a partner in their travels and knowing their business inside out. That was basically it.
Awesome. And just another question based on that, that comes to mind for me then, and especially because I'm very aware there's nothing that annoys me more when I start getting phone calls from people that, who are you? Where did you get my number? Okay. So the only reason why I will start exposing myself to applications or tech like that is the question about data security. Can you maybe touch on that for us?
Well, obviously, data security within the Travelport environment it's very secure. I mean, there's no ways that you've got access, that anyone's got access to your data as such. So it's entirely up to the members that they're putting that information and they're getting it from you. So there's no ways that it would be able to get out into the open market as such, unless they're giving it.
Thanks a lot, people. There we go. So thanks, Sean. Andy, do you mind stepping up here again? So we didn't actually get around to having a chat about what you guys would like to come and present and talk to us about, what discussions you had. And oh, there we go. Fabulous, like that. But just something that I picked up while you guys were talking, and that came to mind for me, is that all the members, if you look at Amadeus as a program, do they use the full potential of it?
No, and I think it's working. It is working. Oh, it's working. Okay. No, I don't think anybody really uses much of goes to the full potential of any technical system or technology. What I really did find, though, is in terms of, yes, there's interest in the technology, but a lot of people are afraid of the change management procedures. That seems to be how do we do it? We need help. But change management is a very necessary part. It should be a culture, not a one-off. Progression is definite. And the other thing that really came out to me was the guys I was talking with, and I think it's general across a lot of agencies, inside this room and outside, is people are too deep in the trenches. We said earlier, not waiting for the world to catch you up, but actually getting ahead. Change management, part of business is getting ahead. I mean, I was asking questions about how far ahead are you thinking? And people are too much in today. And that, my friends, is going to be something you have to change manage yourself into. Because otherwise, there's a whole world out there. This country has a lot of advantages in terms of the current status of the agencies. We have a lot of people that are used to having things done for them and therefore want the personal touch more so than in Europe or the first world. So therefore, you have a built-in advantage of people wanting it. So if you have the technology and you have the capability, you need to meld it together. I mean, we were talking briefly, we're bringing out some new platforms and products this year, and there's a lot of people looking forward to it, but at the same time, they are more worried about the change management and how to bring it into the agency than they're hungry for knowledge. But then it's how do you use it? And it's not just getting the knowledge, it's applying it to apply the knowledge and apply the technology to actually drive yourself forward. But it was an interesting discussion because it actually moved my head a little bit in terms of how I need to approach you guys to actually partner with you to bring this. The agents didn't really know what they were looking for internally. You have to identify the problems to give us some guidance to help you. And it was actually a bit of an eye-opener for me.
Sure, thanks. And if I can just ask you another question, if you don't mind, Andy, is that...
I do mind.
there we go. But you will let you off the hook soon enough now, man. When you look at the technology that you guys are providing, do you think there are certain tools that people aren't using that will make a difference to them operating more effectively, financially better?
Without question. It's what I have to look at is the tools that I have, because the tools are so many and varied, is actually to get that conversation going so that I can actually understand. It's the same as you guys need to talk to your clients and manage your clients and work out what they are not getting, and you're passing the benefits of your experience on. We actually have to communicate to you potentially in a slightly different way. Instead of just putting them out there, we have to explain how they will integrate into your business and drive you more revenue, more productivity. And that's actually that's something we need to think about.
Yeah. Awesome. Thanks a lot. Thanks, Andy. Yeah, that is something that is very interesting in life as a whole, is that how many things or tools that you have in your life that you've bought and want to make use of, and you use so little of it, not realizing how much time and money and effort you can save yourself just by getting to know that tool a lot better. And just by taking maybe an hour or even half a day to invest the time in finding out more about that thing will save you 10 hours tomorrow or 5 hours the next day. But so often we say we don't have the time for it. But yet if you just took that wee bit of time now, it would have saved you a tremendous amount of time going forward, ongoing. Okay. So I think it's very important to engage with that and have a look at that process. The next group and the final group was on idea flow, and we had Errol. Thank you very much. Look forward to that. And you made an interesting comment, Errol, about the difference between customer experience and customer service. So I was very interested to find out what is the difference between the two.
Thanks very much, Johan. Ladies and gentlemen, we had to speak about the customer relationship. And we know in this room over here, I think everybody understands how important the relationship is with the customer. My contention, however, is that if we just focus on the service aspect of the customer relationship, it's too narrow. Because good service, what is good service? Give a quick turnaround, get it right the first time, make sure that they're not late. That doesn't imply that the customer has a great experience with your organization. And I was so delighted to hear the speakers before lunch today and some of the speakers just before me talking about aspects of the business we do in terms of how the customer experiences us. So understand that you could deliver a remarkable level of service in your company, but not create a great customer experience, because maybe your office looks like a parking lot for old papers. And I've seen that in some of the agencies, isn't it? Desks are crowded with stuff that goes back years. I'm sure the consultant knows exactly what's in there somewhere. But for the customer, the interpretation is different. So I was saying in our group that remember that everybody in your organization is part of the customer experience. The lady who sweeps for you, the lady who provides tea, the person who keeps the sidewalk clean in front of your offices is part of your customer experience. So our group had the discussion about if we want to do this thing, and it was one of the first questions on our list, what are the things that drive retention and purchase decisions in customers? Well, it's the customer experience, and customer service is part of customer experience. So one of our groups said part of the customer experience is making sure that when people have traveled, we do a follow-up. We say, how was it? Did you enjoy it? What worked? What didn't work? And of course, and that was said numerous times today, is that great customer experience is the ability for consultants and agents to provide meaningful advice. And we heard that theme before lunch about how important knowledge is, the fact that we need to act as advisors and not agents. We're not there to sell tickets. We're there to provide people with a carefully selected set of choices that guide them in their decisions. And so you can deliver good service without doing any of that stuff. You don't have to be a great travel advisor, a travel consultant, in order to do the mechanics of good service. But how do you lock in the customer relationship? How do you drive loyalty? And loyalty that over time means more revenue for your organization. You think carefully about how customers want to experience the stuff they do with your business. And by the way, I didn't write the book on customer experience. Those of you who sat in some of my CX sessions last year will know it's a monstrous thing overseas in the US and Europe for years already. They've been changing businesses based on trying to deliver service the way the customer wants it, not the way we define service. So when we talk about the difference between customer experience and customer service, this is my advice to you. Please deliver unbeatable service. But understand that if that's all you're doing, it's too narrow. Because good service doesn't mean good customer experience. And the research now teaches us that in order to lock customers in, we had a saying last year that says loyalty rocks. If you want to lock customers in so that they do their business with you, refer their friends to you, spend more with you, you have to provide a great customer experience from start to finish. And that's about you and how you look and how your officers look and whether you're friendly and whether they love you. And customer experience teaches us when all those things come together, they also refer you. They tell other people about you. So now you don't have to market because you've got some people who for free are telling other people you should only do it here. And by the way, that works well for leisure or corporate. I've seen it in both those environments. So that's the long answer to a short question, Johan.
Please. Thank you. Thanks, Errol. Thank you so much. And if you want your notes for the next talk, Errol, you're welcome to have it as well. Yeah, that is such an interesting concept, service delivery versus experience, civic experience. A lot of the work that I do is all focused, and like Svanya and them would have experienced from me or haven't heard from me, that life is about experience. What you experience is your reality and your truth, not what people try to tell you. Give you a simple example. I can tell my wife that I love her until I'm blue in the face. If she doesn't experience it from me, she will not believe me that I love her when I tell her that I do. Okay? And the more I try to convince her that I do with all, but I've done this for you and this for you and this for you, there comes your service delivery stuff, I've done this. The more I do that, the more I convince her that that is not the case. It's all about me, not about her. Okay, very interesting concept in life. Okay, so the question that I turn around is, if, for instance, someone will tell me, listen, I didn't have great service from you, then the question is, what is it that I've done or did not, what did I do or not do that gave you that experience? Because that'll be different for one person to the next. I can give exactly the same service delivery to one person and to the next person. One will have a good experience, the other one will not have, because people are different. Okay? And it's about how to go about in life. Delivering a service, engaging with people, because that's what it's all about, interacting with people. How do you interact with people in a way that you will resonate with every single person that walks in there? And that is where I believe that time and money should be invested in. And that's where your business will grow. Because that is where the interaction is between the people that walk into your business with the money that makes your business exist. That's an interesting concept. So, from where I'm sitting at, where are you off to? You keep running off. You've got some prezzies to hand out still, it looks for me, because I'm done with my people to call up and there's prezzies left. Are those yours? Oh, wow. Are you not sharing? Oh, bless. Thank you so much. Oh. Thank you so much. Oh, that is ever so kind of you. Thank you. Please, thank you. You, please, welcome to. Awesome. Yeah, everybody, so I think we've come to a close with the group sessions. And again, I just want to thank American Express Foreign Exchange for the opportunity to host the session with you guys and drive it. Thanks for all the feedback, interaction. We're going to have a tea break now. I think the tea break is up until 4 o'clock. Is that correct? Fantastic. So, guys, it's been great. Have a nice tea break, and we'll see you back here at 4 o'clock. Thank you.